Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, today we will study boundary conditions. Boundary conditions are those conditions which must be satisfied by electric and magnetic fields at the interface or boundary between two media, and they can be easily deduced from Maxwell's equations. First, we study the boundary conditions for magnetic induction B. For that purpose, we consider two medium 1 and medium 2, and to derive the boundary condition or the relationship between magnetic fields across the interface between two media, we consider a Gaussian surface in the form of a pillbox. It has three surfaces, S1, S2 and S3. N1 is the unit vector giving the direction of S1. N2 unit vector is the unit vector giving the direction of S2, and we assume that small h be the height of this pillbox. The area included as shown is denoted by capital A, and we assume that this h is very small, almost zero. So we consider the famous Maxwell's equation del dot B equal to 0. Applying divergence theorem, we can rewrite it as volume integral del dot B dV is equals to surface integral for the closed surface S B dot n unit vector dA equal to 0. Now this surface S of the pillbox comprises of surfaces S1, S2, S3. So we can split this integral into three different integrals over the surface S1, S2 and S3. So from the figure we can see that N1 unit vector is equals to minus N2 unit vector because they are opposite in direction. And when h tends to 0, the last term becomes 0. So the remaining two terms can be written in this form. Because this is a scalar product, it can be taken out of the integral. Similarly here also, and substituting n2 equal to minus n1, we can get this equation very easily from the above equation. And the integrals, if they are evaluated, they come out to be the area enclosed by the Gaussian surface, which was assumed to be capital A. So dividing throughout by capital A, we get the normal component of B in medium 1 equal to normal component of B in medium 1. The next part of the lecture includes the boundary condition for magnetic field intensity vector H. So for that purpose we consider the modified Ampere's law, which is also one of the four Maxwell's equations. Del cross H equal to curly D by curly T plus J vector. J is current density, D is displacement vector. So in order to determine the boundary condition, we consider again the closed loop ABCDA. This is medium 1, this is medium 2, and this is the interface between the two media. The side AD is divided into two parts, H1 and H2, and the length AB and CD are assumed to be L. So we integrate this equation over the surface S of this path, so it becomes surface integral del cross H dot dA equal to surface integral curly D by curly T dot NdA plus surface integral J dot n unit vector dA. By Stokes theorem, we can convert this left hand side into a line integral over the closed path ABCDA. So instead of the surface integral del cross H, we can substitute now the line integral over the closed path C, that is ABCDA, H dot dl, and the right hand side is the same. Since we have to determine the relation between tangential components of H, so we assume H1 and H2 be 0. So when this is 0, the area approaches 0. So curly D by curly T is finite. So this integral can be proved to be equal to 0, which means that the remaining equation is this term here and this term. This is 0 and this term is here as it is. So this is a line integral, so we expand this line integral into expand this integral into one for the side AB, BC, CD and DA as written here. Since H1 and H2 are 0, so all those terms in which we have H1 and H2, they will ultimately be 0, and what remains is on the left hand side L into H1T minus L into H2T. L is common, so we can write it as, because at the interface the current density is 0, there is no charge density, so current density will be taken as 0, so H1T is equals to H2T equal to 0, or we can write it as tangential component of applied magnetic field vector in medium 1 is equals to tangential component of applied magnetic field vector in medium 2. So that means that the boundary condition for the applied magnetic field vector is that the tangential components of H are continuous across the interface of two media. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The second part of this lecture includes the boundary condition for electric field E across the interface of two media, medium 1 and medium 2, as shown in figure. First thing which needs to be clarified is that magnetic field or electric field or the applied magnetic field vector may have two components, tangential component and the normal component. Normal component is always perpendicular to the interface of the two media, whereas tangential component is parallel to the interface of two media. So when we say that normal component of B in medium 1 is equals to normal component of B in medium 2, that means the normal component of magnetic field does not change across the interface of two media. So now we come to the boundary conditions for electric field. We consider the Maxwell's equation, that is del cross E is equals to minus B by curly T, curly B by curly T. So for deriving the relationship between the electric field across the interface of two media, we consider a closed path in the form of a path A, B, C, D, A. So this distance AF is H1 and FD is equal to H2. So this is a closed path. So if we integrate this equation over this rectangular closed loop, so we get curl of E dot dA equal to minus surface integral curly B by curly T dot dA. By Stokes theorem, we can convert this integral into a line integral over the closed path C E dot dl. So therefore, we can rewrite this equation as line integral over the closed path C E dot dl is equals to minus surface integral curly B by curly T dot n unit vector dA. So if we expand this line integral over C, the closed path A, B, C, D, A, we get this equation, and it can be written equal to minus surface integral curly B by curly T dot n dA. Because the last four terms in this equation involve H1 and H2, in order to derive the relationship between tangential components of the electric field, we must assume H1 and H2 be equal to 0. So when H1 and H2 are 0, these last four terms are 0. So what remains, we see on the right hand side the surface integral curly B by curly T dot n dA equal to 0, which can be written as curly by curly T surface integral B dot n dA, and this can again be converted by divergence theorem into volume integral del dot B dV. So when del dot B is 0 by Maxwell's equation, this whole integral is 0. So when we substitute this integral into the last equation on the last page, we obtain L E1t equal to L E2t, which can be written as E1t equal to E2t, which means that tangential component of electric field in medium 1 is always equals to tangential component of electric field in medium 2. That means tangential component of E is always continuous across the interface of two media. Dear students, the third part of this lecture is about the displacement vector, that is the boundary conditions for displacement vector across the interface of two media. So as we know that one of the Maxwell's equations is del dot rho D equal to rho, where rho is volume charge density, D is displacement vector. So for deriving the boundary conditions for D, we rewrite this equation and integrate it over volume V on both sides. So we get volume integral del dot V dV equal to volume integral rho dV. So if we apply divergence theorem on the left hand side, we can write this integral in the form of a surface integral d dot n unit vector dA. This surface S is the surface area of the pillbox shaped Gaussian surface constructed for determining the boundary conditions of D for medium 1 and medium 2. Here we assume that the interface, the area of the interface enclosed by this pillbox is capital A, and there is a small free charge density sigma. So this total surface area of the pillbox can be divided into three parts, S1, S2 and S3. And as you can see, the N1 unit vector is opposite to N2, and the height of the pillbox is assumed to be h, which is almost 0. So since this is a surface integral, this can be split up into three parts, as we did in the case of magnetic induction vector B. This is the integral over surface S1, S2, S3. Since the height of the pillbox is almost 0, so therefore the integral over S3, the last integral in the expansion on the right hand side, will be 0. So rewriting the above equation, we get volume integral del dot D dV is equals to d1 dot n1 surface integral over S1 dA minus d2 vector dot n1 vector surface integral S2 dA. Here we have substituted n2 equal to minus n1 vector, as you can see in this figure. So on the right hand side, we can write, because this integral and this integral, the area of the upper surface and lower surface is assumed to be A, as I told you earlier. So if we substitute A here and A here, it can be taken common, and because this is a dot product, it can be taken out of the integral. Similarly here also. So this is the normal component of d1 denoted by d1n, and similarly this is the normal component of d2 denoted by d2n. But from equation 1 here, if we substitute this volume integral del dot dv equal to this thing, we get d1n minus d2n a equal to volume integral rho dv. As I told you earlier that there is a free, we have assumed a small free charge density sigma on the interface between two media, and the area enclosed by the Gaussian surface is A. So net charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface is sigma A, and this integral, volume integral rho dv on the last page, can be substituted by sigma A. So A cancels with A, and we get d1n minus d2n is equals to sigma. So as I told you, sigma is the surface charge density on the interface. So if the interface is charge free, then the normal components of the displacement vector become equal if we substitute 0 here. And if the permittivity of medium 1 is epsilon and the permittivity of medium 2 is epsilon 2, so we can rewrite this equation as epsilon 1 E1n equal to epsilon 2 E2n. If it is not 0, then the equation becomes this. So these two are boundary conditions for D in the case when charge free is 0, epsilon 1 E1n is equals to epsilon 2 E2n, and when the charge density is not 0 on the interface, this is the ultimate boundary condition.